For years, India has been a major hub in the global drug trade, supplying illicit opioids, fentanyl precursors, and unregulated pharmaceuticals across multiple continents. Despite its thriving pharmaceutical industry, India's chemical sector is now under international scrutiny for fueling drug crisis from North America to West Africa. A recent US Department of Justice indictment has exposed how Indian chemical firms have been supplying fentanyl precursors to Mexico's Sinaloa cartel, which then smuggles the deadly opioid into American cities. As investigations unfold, India's expanding role in the global drug trade is becoming harder to ignore. I'm Maryam Elahi, and today we're exposing how India's chemical industry is fueling one of the biggest drug crises in the world. Fentanyl, a synthetic opioid 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times more potent than morphine, is at the center of America's most lethal drug crisis. According to the CDC, fentanyl overdoses killed over 82,000 Americans in 2022 alone, a number higher than battlefield casualties in most US wars. Initially, China was blamed for directly shipping fentanyl to the US, but after global pressure, Beijing imposed tighter regulations. As China restricted fentanyl exports, Indian companies emerged as major suppliers of fentanyl precursors, key chemicals used to manufacture the drug in bulk. And the recent US Justice Department indictment proves that how deep India's involvement runs. Two Indian companies, Athos Chemicals and Roxura Chemicals, both based in Gujarat, have been officially indicted by the United States government for their role in fentanyl precursor smuggling. The investigation led to the arrest of Bhavesh Lathia, a senior executive at Roxura Chemicals in New York. US authorities revealed that Lathia personally discussed fentanyl precursor sales in a video call with an undercover agent. He even gave instructions on disguising the shipment as medicine to evade law enforcement. This wasn't a one-time deal. According to the United States authorities, Lathia had been running this operation for years, smuggling chemicals that directly fueled America's fentanyl crisis. And if this is what just two companies have been caught doing, imagine how many more remain under the radar. India's chemical industry isn't supplying fentanyl precursors to Mexico only, but it has also been linked to opioid smuggling in other parts of the world. According to a BBC report, Indian pharmaceutical firms have been involved in the illegal opioid trade across Africa. In 2023, Nigerian authorities seized over $100 million worth of opioids shipped from India, a shipment that could have fueled a devastating drug crisis. Reports suggest that millions in Nigeria are addicted to Indian-supplied opioids, with drugs like tramadol being smuggled from India to West Africa, where they are sold on the black market. Indian pharmaceutical companies, which enjoy global credibility as medicine suppliers, have been accused of lax oversight, allowing their products to fall into the wrong hands, fueling addiction in multiple regions. While the West focuses on China and Mexico, this hidden pipeline of illicit opioids from India is quietly feeding drug epidemics across multiple continents. Despite mounting evidence, India has not taken significant action against its chemical suppliers. While China, under global pressure, implemented strict controls on fentanyl exports, India's response has been notably absent. Even after the United States indictment of Indian firms, there has been no major crackdown or regulatory tightening within India's pharmaceutical sector. This latest indictment may just be the beginning. With investigations intensifying, it won't be long before many Indian companies are exposed, and global pressure forces New Delhi to finally act.